Professional musicians often chafe at being confined to categories or genres, and sometimes an artist comes along to invigorate and stretch those categories. Bartees Strange is one such musician. Special correspondent Tom Casciato has this story for our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
Bartees Strange operates in the world known as indie or alternative rock, a space, he says, where black artists haven't always gotten their due.
Oftentimes we'll be like, oh yeah, like black people are like the foundation of culture. But when you look at like who's winning awards and who's getting recognition, especially like in the guitar-driven space or the indie rock space, the contributions of black people are oftentimes forgotten.
His contributions are getting attention. They include injecting an emotional mix of R&B, rap, soul, and more to the independent rock scene, where The Guardian recently wrote, he is here to rewrite the rule book. Maybe he was made to mash multiple styles into a new one of his own. He was born Bartees Cox Jr. in 1989 in Ipswich, England.
My dad was an Air Force guy. He worked on planes. And my mom, she's an opera singer.
The family bounced around until Bartees, the oldest of three, found himself growing up in Mustang, Oklahoma.
I grew up on Garth Brooks Boulevard, literally. We were one of the few black families there.
He soaked up music, especially that of the mostly white hardcore and emo scenes. He also attended opera camp, and he loved books.
I was an avid reader. Philip Roth was my favorite author.
So, military father, opera singer mother, Philip Roth reading Black Kid in a White Town.
Strange, yeah.
Is that how the name Strange occurred to you?
The people at church would just be like, oh, he's kind of strange. Which in the black community can mean like so many things. It's like a word to describe the quiet kid, the kid that you don't understand really, but you love him. People would always kind of be like, yeah, he's in his own world.
His dream was actually to play football. That is, until one late night he saw the group TV on the radio.
And it's mostly black guys. Wearing clothes that was like something I would wear. Making music that I had not heard by people that look like that. I was like, I need to get a guitar. It changed what I thought was possible in my life.
But music wouldn't take over right away. In fact, Bartees Cox went on to an entire career outside of music in Washington, including a stint as Deputy Press Secretary of the Federal Communications Commission. As recently as last year, he worked in communications for a climate change nonprofit. But he was making music all along. He began getting more attention with a 2020 release where he covered tunes by a prominent indie band that he adores, The National.
Kind of wanted to make this kind of a commentary on the artists that make it and the ones that don't, despite the history of black art in this scene. And I was like, after all this history, why can't there be a band like The National that looks like me?
So he took songs by The National that sound, for example, like this,
Didn't ask you why.
and interpreted them like this.
And didn't ask you why.
But it was only in 2021, with the album Live Forever, that he made music full-time. Critics heralded work that Culture Site Paste wrote flows with past traditions and new sonic possibilities. It included a breakthrough track called Boomer.
That song basically is a moment in my life where I just like actualized. I was in Brooklyn. I was around a bunch of artists that I loved and respected who were black, who made me feel like I was a normal person. And I was able to write and create music that was like so true to myself. I was always kind of like, ah. But when I was making Boomer, writing that song, I was like, yo, I'm good.
His latest record, Farm to Table, has upped the stakes. A standout cut is called Hold the Line. He played it for his siblings and parents before the album's release.
After George Floyd died, I remember watching the news and seeing his daughter, Gianna, talking to the press about what had happened. And everyone was like, oh my God, this kid's so brave, oh my God. And I was like, no, we failed this child, just like we failed so many black kids. I say, you know, he's calling to his mother now, right? And at the end of it, I say, I'm calling to my mother now.
I'm calling to my mother now.
Because, man, George Floyd looks like me. Like, he's like a big black dude. My whole life I've had to like police what I do with my body, how loud I am, how I look, what I'm dressed like, who I'm looking like, you know? I was like, I could have easily been him. There's many times in my life where I thought I was gonna be him.
Nowadays, he sometimes appears on stage with The National, and new music has brought new fans. One invited Bartees onto his podcast.
It's a real privilege to talk to you. Your music is so beautiful, and it's a kind of jewel that's emerged from...
I saw recently that you chatted with Elton John. Do you aspire to that kind of success in the business?
Yes, I do. 100%. But I'm really trying hard not to write that way. I'm trying hard not to say, I need to make a hit. I'm just gonna keep making music. The hits will come. I think that my journey is only just beginning.
Thank you, I'm Bartees Strange.
For the PBS NewsHour, this is Tom Casciato in New York City.